What's up everybody, Cursing Mushroom here and welcome back to another Destiny 2 video. So today's video is gaming with a guest. I've got my special friend here, Blaze Crisco. Jared, how you doing, man?
Hey, how are you?
Oh, good. So we're going to be talking about this week at Bungie. It's kind of cool, guys. It's got some strike stuff and some raid stuff. So I'm going to read a little bit. Me and my buddy Jared here are going to talk a little bit about it. I'm going to get his thoughts on this so we can kind of have a little conversation. So let's get into it. So this week at Bungie, we're decorating the world for the big dance. Yesterday, we revealed that Crimson Days is coming to Destiny 2. If you haven't had a chance to read the details about the new 2v2 playlist and the rewards you can earn in this activity, please check it out now. I will put a card above, guys. You can click that on my video, and you can see all that stuff there. We're going to get into the rest of the content. So settle the score. Last week, we published a Destiny 2 development roadmap, which details all of these things. You can also click the link above and check my other video. I have plenty of videos, guys, with all this information. But we're going to go jump ahead to here where it says, before we get to the details, game director Christopher Barrett has some context to frame up the essential fantasy that we'd like the Nightfall to serve. So this is Christopher Barrett here. Nightfall should be a challenging test that only the bravest Guardians dare to face. Fire teams of any size should be able to participate, from organized clan groups to skilled solo players. Players should be able to determine their own challenge level by going slow and steady or fast and wild, with effective modifiers to test the most hardcore veterans. Your final score will separate the best from the rest, and with high risk comes high reward. Each terrible villain that players face should have a very rare and powerful unique item themed to them. Awesome. That tumbles to the ground as they collapse into a pile of bones. Conquering Nightfall should be a badge of honor, with the best players able to show off their achievements with a dynamic emblem and exclusive auras. That's the version we want to take Nightfall. You'll be seeing the first of this direction in the next patch, with more being added over time. With these goals in mind, we asked designer John Favreau or whatever his name is, and senior design lead Tyson Green to share some facts on how they plan to enhance Nightfall strikes. So let's get to the good stuff, guys. So Tyson, he's saying, as we were working on new sandbox improvements, we recognized the need for a venue in which those improvements matter more. The weekly Nightfall, especially on the Prestige difficulty, was intended to be such a venue, but the controversial time limit mechanic is a simple pass-fail mechanism. It only acknowledges success as being a clear, with no degrees of success past that. So no competition exists in that space. It turns a lot of people off to the Nightfall too, since it is both difficult and indexes performance solely on speed. And here you've got the screenshot of some of the scoring here. We are repositioning strike scoring in Destiny 2 to enable you to achieve something prestigious in the weekly Nightfall. And as a way to amplify difficulty, the new scoring rules are intended to be better at a few specific things. Reward you for engaging and defeating enemies instead of running past them. Avoid overemphasizing specific mechanics like precision kills that highlight certain areas of the sandbox and or punish other areas, so that the players are the ones to determine the most effective meta. Reward you for taking on greater challenges up to the limits of your own capabilities. Reward you for doing the above quickly and over the course of a short run versus long slogs over several hours. The updated mechanics look like this. Scoring is team-based and the sum of individual performances. A team should be able to focus on what works best, not feeling put out by who stole whose kill. Scoring is primarily driven by kills and secondarily by orb generation. We want you to find what works best for clearing strikes and instead of telling you which weapons to use, but we want you to coordinate use of supers and other team support mechanics to contribute to high scores. We're interested in restoring special point awards based on medals, but we want your input and understand the basic meta first. Score bleeds over time. We are watching this closely. Score decay can feel bad, but all else being equal. A team that clears faster than another team should score higher. Score decay achieves this in the most transparent fashion. Scoring cuts off after time thresholds. At 15 minutes, new points earned are reduced by 50%. At 18 minutes, you stop earning new points, and it's a race to finish the run and post your score. We want time to matter. But we also want to avoid some of the problems we saw with the Prison of Elders, where a high score might involve punishing responding combatants and yourself for a few hours until the novelty wore off. A good Nightfall clear shouldn't feel like a slog. Challenge. On the top of the above mechanics are challenge cards, items that offer ways to boost the challenge in exchange for score multipliers. In 1.1.3, there will be a challenge card that drops from completing a Nightfall run. It has some customization options to help tune the challenge to the level and what your fire team are capable of, which you can see here. And then also, you can see here on the Ghost. And then rewards. Players will be able to see their and your scores on the Nightfall emblems available as drops in each Nightfall strike. These emblems, like others like them, are now the source of auroras, which are automatically enabled if your personal score is above the global threshold. At first, the thresholds will be set based on what we think might be tough for players to reach, but we look forward to you showing us how much we underestimated you. Then we can raise the bar based on community scores. Then you see here you've got the inverted spire emblem with the score being set at 30,000 and the person has 45,000. So he has the apples. Does it say apple? Apples. No, I can't see the eye. I don't have my glasses on. So it says, I can't see it. I don't have my glasses applied. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It looks like apples, guys. So, oh my gosh. Applies a purple crown aura. So, oh my God. Dude. It's so funny. I'm an idiot right now. Okay. Along with the aura, a personal score over the threshold will also unlock a fireteam-wide buff that boosts Vanguard token drops in the strike by 25%. It's killing me, man. It's killing me. When your fireteam sees the Nightfall aura on your head, they know who's hooking them up. So if you have it, apparently if you've unlocked this threshold, then you give the team a boost in 25% on token drops. That's nice. I like that. And then lastly, some other variants of these Nightfall emblems, which will be available as drops at higher score thresholds. Obtaining these rewards is meant to be challenging, so we don't expect everyone to reach these scores to collect these items. Okay, Jared, let's talk about it. What do you think about that so far? What do you think about the whole score scaling? Do you think it's a good direction? I personally think it's a great direction, and I think that it's cool that even though, let's say me and you played together, and for some reason you beat the threshold, but I didn't, or I beat the threshold, but you didn't, then we would be applying a bonus to everyone that played with us. I think that's a really good way to get our teammates involved and a way to get us involved. What do you think about it?
I mean, I think it sounds like a way to, add some more relevance to doing activities. Obviously, now you're trying to get people back in, nightfalls and strikes, and that's always good.
Right, of course.
I think doing some challenges is good. It's now just not, hey, let's just go grind out a couple strikes. Now it's, hey, let's go, hit this score cap, go, this and that, which is always nice. Add some challenge. I don't know. I think it'll just come down to, is the reward worth the grind?
Absolutely, it always is. That's always the catch-22, man.
And it sounds like, you're scoring, though. I mean, it's individual at the end of the day.
Correct.
You all pull it together. So I'm going to assume that what they're talking about with these, like the personal best, like you see in the, let me find that picture so you know what I'm talking about. That first one where they've got the inverted spire emblem, you can see it has personal best tracker and then the first threshold. I'm going to assume, that's a team score, not like an individual. So that kind of adds some motivation to, get your squad or fire team, rolling on that. I'm assuming,
Yeah, it says on the rewards, players will be able to see their and your scores on new Nightfall emblems. Excuse me. So maybe
it could be your personal, it could be your team. If you
maybe there's a separate emblem for team and there's one for actual your score. Maybe this is the one for your score, and then there's another one for like your whole, like a whole group of like teammates. Like we got together and ran our best one that we could ever do, and we want to show that off. Then we could see it in an emblem.
Mm-hmm. I'm not sure because you know, 45,000. If you think back to the scoring that was on strikes before,
Right, correct.
that was something that sounds more team based.
Correct.
But when you go back to their picture of some in-game stuff and
Yeah, it looks pretty high. It
showing
looks
up
pretty
their
high.
ranks, yeah, it looks like that dude killing
Two
about
legionaries, phalanx, and
four
mini boss.
enemies. Yeah, that's about you know, 14, 1500 something points. So, you know, maybe that's an individual thing. It's, you know, like you said, they could have, you know, hey, here's my individual, here's a team one. I mean, I think we'll see.
Well,
I think
check
the
out
order's
this.
cool.
Go up to
I think
the other two pictures right above that one, and look at
mhm.
the top one. Look at the Nightfall challenge. You've got a score multiplier and a power handicap. You can activate these, from my understanding, which is it a little bit further down? I don't think so. No, it's not. Okay, so you can activate these to make it harder, but also give you the score multiplier to make your score even better. So he's actually, if you look at the top picture, like we were just talking about, if you look next to his score in the bottom right, he's actually got the 2.15 times score multiplier on. So that's why his score is actually that high. Normally it'd be about half of that if you think about it, which would make it even more
That would make
difficult.
sense. Yeah, so they'll probably have, you know, some of these emblems with your, you know, showing off your score stuff. They'll probably be a little bit lower without the aura. I bet you the aura ones are probably going to be the ones where to hit that, you know, threshold,
Right.
you've got to add on those multipliers, which means you've got to, you know, bump it up. And I like how, you know, some people hated that in the original Nightfalls when you died.
I liked
Like
it. It
it
made
was
it challenging. Like, hide if you're the
did,
last one alive.
and
Like,
then like
period.
30 something minutes, that was a bit much in my opinion. Like who couldn't get that done in 30 minutes unless you were
Right.
two manning it and having a tough time. But I think bringing that back is pretty cool. Add some challenge, and it looks like something you could take off if you wanted to. So that's kind of nice. And it sounds like that's what they're trying to do instead of just a straightforward, here's a Nightfall, here's the mods, here's some strikes, here's some mods. You know, now they're trying to, you know, personalize it. And I think that's not really something they've done before. It
Yeah, I
always
think
seems
it's
like
nice.
here's your playlist, go play it. Here's this playlist, go play it. Now it's, hey, Nightfall, here's some options you can do. I think
Yeah.
it'll be cool to, you know, I know we don't have all the info yet, but I think it'd be awesome if these like Nightfall challenge cards they got going, definitely don't let you keep doing the same mods. You
Like,
know,
once you
just
use
bring
it,
on
it's
everyone you
expunged.
that, or you know, just hey, this week you can, you know, mix it up between these because otherwise, you know, I could see right now, you know me, I'm gonna be a Celestial Nighthawk and I'm gonna put that solar damage increase
You
on,
got that
and I would
right.
do that every week
You got that
if I
right.
could. But now, if you know, hey, this week solar damage increase, next week, you know, that's not a thing. It's not really a ability damage week. It's, you know, maybe weapon damage, or you know, maybe bring back some of the old mods they did, or you know, add new ones. I think some of the ones they've added are cool, except for momentum. That one's done. Hate that.
Remove
But
F5.
I like how it looks like you can change it up some. That's fresh. You know, I think for me, that's a positive.
Oh, check this
Just to
out,
be
man.
able
So
to.
look at the two pictures that you see. You're looking at, I'm sure, the Nightfall challenge up top, and then you've got the ghost underneath. I'm
Mhm.
confused by this picture. Is it something that you equip to your ghost? I'm assuming, like, as a mod to your ghost. Is that what's happening here? It's kind of what it looks
You know,
like.
I don't know.
We've obviously not been given all
Because
the information, but
well, I'm willing to bet what they did was they hit details on the card in your consumables, and you're looking at that, and maybe just instead of having this little black index card looking thing, it's your ghost. I don't
well, I
know
could
if
see
they
that
did
being
more to
possible.
it.
Yeah,
It
for
says
sure.
when present in your inventory, this enables modifiers in Nightfall strikes on prestige difficulty. More challenging modifiers will apply larger score multipliers. So I'm willing to bet it's not necessarily something that applies to your ghost. Maybe they're just showing off. Hey, here's a new ghost shell for
Possible. Yeah, for sure. Maybe the prestige version.
I'm not a connoisseur of the ghost, but I'm not that one.
That's the actual Crimson Days ghost right there. Is what that is.
There you go. But as we're talking about good things going on, negative, that is a repainting. I don't like that. You know me, because
I got you, man.
I have one right now, the Wild Hunt Ghost Shell. I don't know why, but I do. Oh, because for strikes, and that's literally a repaint. So
yeah, I agree. With the ghost, I feel like they could make it a little better. Yeah, I feel like they could make it a little better with the ghost. I would know weapons are a little harder, but the ghosts and stuff.
Yeah, but sure. Just
the shape, just change shapes, you know. Yeah,
it's geometry. I mean, use some triangles, some hexagons. There's a lot of different shapes, 2D, 3D.
Absolutely.
Hey, figure out how to make a 4D ghost. I don't know what that would look like, but pretty cool.
It could be any shape, dude. It could be like a circle. It could be a triangle ghost. It could be a square ghost. It could be just a circle blob, you know.
I definitely like the color palette on that, for sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
That bright red's really nice. Instead of the weird pink they did last.
All right, so that's enough. We shall move on. So let's move to the raid stuff. Okay. Well, let's see. We talked about this already. This is what me and Jared were talking about here. Let's actually read a little bit. Right. Okay. So, designer John blah blah blah. The current Nightfall climate encourages play that pushes players through the encounters as fast as possible. I don't know if I want to read that, Jared.
It sounds like his dialogue of kind of what's going on.
Let me see here. I don't have my glasses on, so I'm kind of struggling. I'm not gonna
lie. You're good. Oh, there you go. The modifiers will apply. Go down under that picture.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, we're going to skip along to this part. The modifiers will apply a multiplier to your score in the Prestige Nightfall, as me and Jared were talking about. We kind of jumped ahead, but that's okay. It isn't all more, though. There are plenty of ways to lose points. There is an ever-present score bleed to apply, pressure to keep you moving, like we talked about in the text before. But here's what those little nodes that me and Jared were talking about. So it provides a 25 increase to player and enemy damage of the corresponding element. And these can only be done in Prestige. Extinguish, fire team wipes when they return to team orbit, like we talked about. We enjoy that coming back. Fun. Power modifier, voluntarily decrease your power to gain a score bonus. Now that one's going to be difficult. Of all of them, I think that's going to be the toughest one, because if you just can't damage somebody, you just can't damage somebody, you know? You're definitely going to have to run the top and bottom. Extinguish is going to have to take it out of there for a little bit to make sure you can do that. Because one hiccup and you're dead. One hiccup and you're dead.
Extinguish and power, that would be definitely an interesting combo.
Oh,
you
God.
Have some people day one for that. I think that'll come down to really, you know, what kind of power drop are you talking?
Yeah, is it 10% or is it
max?
Yeah,
I mean, it's 330. You know, are you dropping 5, 10, 15? I don't know. That one could be interesting. You know, Extinguish isn't really that big a deal. I mean, we've run.
No, it's not. But if you get that decrease in score,
occasional,
you know, it could be pretty. It could be pretty hefty, though. You know, what if it's, you go from 335 to 305? I mean, you're going to barely do any damage. I think it'll probably drop you, honestly, if it's recommended 330, probably 315 to 320 is what I think it would be. I think that would be fair.
We'll see. I don't think it'll be too crazy. And like they said, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't that much to start, because I think, a big snippet of something they set up there was, hey, we're going to set the bar high, but at the same time, we definitely want to adjust this as we see it's, too easy or too hard. So I bet you they'll put it probably in a good mid, and, if not that many people can use Power Mod and get it done.
Well, I mean, it doesn't even matter, to be honest. You don't have to use it if you don't want to. I mean, that's the benefit of it,
but to me, part of it is why have a mod if no one's using it? So
That's
I
true
think
as
it'll be
well.
something that they'll look at. I'm not gonna say like, hey, first thing we need to do is raise or lower this. But I think it's interesting. I did not catch that one up there, so that is
Yeah,
kind of
it's
cool.
yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about the raid plans. Raid plans. Another thing that we have jumped out at you as you have read the Destiny 2 development roadmap was that the Eater of Worlds Prestige mode was pushed out until May. You may have even said, what is taking them so long? It's a fair question. The answer is that we didn't want to release it in its current form. And so they're going to let Joe Blackburn here give us reasonings why and kind of give you guys a little insight. So let's see what he has to say. Hey Guardians, for Destiny 2 we wanted to release raid content on a more regular cadence than we did during the first years of Destiny. In our original estimation of this work, we knew we would have a focus on normal modes, foregoing lair challenge modes, and having their prestige modes rely on enemies that are more lethal and harder to kill. As we get closer to releasing Prestige Eater of Worlds, we knew we wanted to do something more. Over the past few months, we've been prototyping a new way of adding difficulty and replayability to raid activities. I'm dyslexic today, no offense. Today, I'm happy to announce that we have decided to push this feature forward and release it for all Leviathan raid content with the release of Expansion 2. I'm going to skip a little bit of this and go to the last paragraph here so that way you guys can understand a little more without getting a bunch of just mumbo jumbo in the middle. This new version of Prestige requires players to complete raids filled with deadly enemies using a curated loadout of weapons and special modifiers that enhance the way you play. The raid team never likes to let you know exactly what to expect, but here's a look and some hypothetical examples. So check this out, Jared. This is very interesting. So this is kind of hypothetical, but it's pretty much what's going to happen to an extent. So let's say, for instance, week 1, raid activity Eater of Worlds. The modifier is Marksman. Precision damage is increased. Landing of precision shots grants 1 ammo directly to the magazine. Required loadout. Your kinetic slot has to be in hand cannon, your energy slot has to be a scout rifle, and your power has to be a linear fusion rifle. Week 2, here's another example. Raid Activity Expansion 2, Raid Lair. Modifier, Gladiator. Your melee damage is increased, and melee kills grant bonus super. Required loadout, kinetic sidearm, energy submachine gun, and power shotgun. And then we have another example here for week 3. Raid Activity Eater of Worlds, Modifier Conduit. Each kill you get before reloading or swapping weapons gives you increasingly more ability energy. Required loadout, Kinetic Auto Rifle, Energy Risk Runner, and Power Grenade Launcher. So this to me seems really cool, man. Like, this is pretty much all they talked about for the raid, but I think these are some really cool ways to get people intrigued on using different stuff, because if you're getting increased precision damage, I'm going to use a hand cannon and scout rifle all day long. I mean, that's the way to do it, especially if you land a precision shot, you get 1 ammo back to the magazine. I think that's some really cool stuff. What do you think about the whole situation of this new thought process they have going on here?
Well,
honestly, let's hear it.
That's pretty interesting. I mean, again, it's trying to add to the gameplay. I think if these are meant to be like challenge modes, I think that's awesome. For sure, because or prestige modes, whatever they decide to do with it.
That's what it is.
I think it's a pretty cool idea. All right, so the prestige mode. All right.
Yeah.
So, for me, I think it's a cool idea because, again, it's not taking away from your casual player. Hey, I have to just go run the regular, do it the way I do it. But, adding that to the prestige instead of just, like, an extra mechanic.
Now I think it's cool.
Hey, there's an extra mechanic that like extra mechanic as in if you're on Prestige Callus, there's little variances. Now you've got those little variances, and hey, FYI, you can only use these kind of weapons. I think that's cool, and for me, I could see a reason why maybe they want to do this. is, you know me, I don't use hand cannons at all. So
Right.
if I want to prestige raid with my friends, I've got to get a hand cannon. Well, I hardcore deleted all those bad boys. So what do I have to do? Now I've got to go grind for one. Well, I don't
Right.
want any regular hand cannon. I want a good one. So I could see where some of this may be trying to get some people to go back and do some of the old activities, because if I don't have a hand cannon, I've got to go get one,
Correct.
but I'm not just going to go pick one up off the wall. I want one that's good. So, I mean, I think it's a way to get some people to go back and try to, essentially grind for some stuff. And, I think that's doing what they want to do. That goes back to, you mentioned some replayability, but it's adding replayability to just more than the raid, but now,
Other content as well.
aspects. Yeah, because, I don't know what hand cannons are good.
The Better Devils, you can only get it from Crucible, so you're going to play Crucible to try to get it because it's the best hand cannon in the game. I mean, that's all there is to it.
Yeah, so you've got all those various things going on, which is, that's good. I hope that linear fusion thing is just a bluff.
Oh,
I don't have any of
God.
those anymore.
Honestly, I
And
was worried
I'm
about
good with
the
it.
middle one, the shotgun for your power slot. But
Yeah,
but if you read, it says raid activity expansion to raid lair. So I don't know if this boss that we're gonna fight is gonna be like up close and personal where you can shoot him with a shotgun. So
true.
I don't know.
But
And if
at the
that's the
same
case, that'd be
time,
cool.
yeah, but at the same time, I mean, what do you really use your power weapon for anyway? You launch a couple rockets,
Correct.
and then you go do whatever else you've been doing. So I don't think that'll be game changing, like you said. But I mean, at the same time, though, it says here's some hypothetical. They may never do shotguns, or they could, devil's advocate, make you do that on like Callus. That would
Yeah.
suck.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. It's like, okay, so what are we gonna do here? Like,
But I mean, if you look at that, I mean, obviously they're hypotheticals, but I look at that and I see the modifiers for your melee,
right, correct. And for the super,
kinetic sidearm, energies, submachine gun. Well, I'm just trying to say, I'm looking at that and everything's up close.
mm-hmm.
So I don't know if that's a possible hint at, and that's an entirely new game mechanic if the raid is intended to be up
Yeah,
close, because,
that would be sweet in my opinion. I've wanted something like that.
but it's a raid layer, not just a raid.
Correct.
So, they definitely kind of changed it up a little bit with the with Argos raid. It's not all just go kill a boss, next area, kill a boss, next area. So,
It could be like a it could be like a
there's no
fallen
telling.
that disappears like on the strike. He can't like
If
one
they could
stop
bring
kill you,
back a
but he can
they could
like
bring a
launch you back.
maze aspect back to the game,
Yeah, that'd be pretty
any
cool.
that would be awesome. I think it's a good idea. I don't know how I feel about, on that bottom one, energy de-risk runner. Like, I like, if you're gonna do it, I like the idea of like, okay, you can pick any sidearm, any submachine gun. Um, I don't know how I would feel about like you have to use.
I kind of like that though because it makes you use exotics and the modifier is tied to that specific exotic. Because conduit, each kill you get before reloading or swapping weapons gives you increasingly more ability energy. So what you do is you use your risk runner, because you're getting attacked with arc probably because of whatever game your whatever game mode or whatever. Then you don't have to reload, so you're getting a lot of ability energy back. So you can spam your super and grenades a lot at like the boss and stuff.
I mean, it's good they pair it, and that's what I'm getting with this. I mean, everything looks like it's paired with similar things that work together.
Yeah, with
I think
intent.
I think that for me is going to be kind of the make or break with it. Is, you know, I could get by with that week one because I like scout rifles. I've got a couple good energy ones. I've got a hand cannon, I bet, somewhere, whatever. But, as long as the pairings are good, I don't think it'll be that like crucial. And plus, I mean, it's not meant to be easy. I mean, it's prestige.
Correct.
And I mean, they're adding more to it than just like, hey guys, we're gonna toss this modifier. Now it's got some skill to it, so that's always fun.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool to see, but that's all we got time for today. I appreciate you coming on the channel with me, buddy. It was fun. And as usual, guys, I hope you have a great morning, afternoon, day, or night. As usual, Cursing Mushroom out. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget, you can subscribe to my channel in the comments or the description down below. Also, hit the little red bar and the bell to be notified.